name is Metri Hajjar. I am a journalist in Super.ae, the sport website of Abu Dhabi Media. It's an honor to host a legendary like you here in Abu Dhabi. So your nickname is Menturo. Menturo or
Minotauro.
Minotauro. Is it a Portuguese name?
Yeah, Portuguese name.
What did that mean exactly?
Is that mythology Greek, legendary, like half bull, half man.
Mm-hmm.
And he used to be, they used to, the half bull, half man used to be like in the jail, and they feed them with people, something like that. So something scary, like.
From where did this name come from?
When I was a teenager, I was trained with some training partner. He was like about 45 years old, and he called his wife and said, "I want to go. Let's cancel the dinner tonight because I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna train fighting with the kid with 15 years old, but he looks like a minotaur. He's already ready to eat meat." So, it was a nickname.
Okay.
And we use in jiu-jitsu, in the jiu-jitsu tournaments, everyone got a nickname. So,
I noticed that in the jiu-jitsu that the all black belts that have really small nickname, but this one is very impressive and very
strong though.
It's very strong. The big knock from where it comes?
A big knock.
Yes.
That Dan White, the president of the UFC, he want to put some, nicknames like different. So he called me Big Nog and my twin brother Little Nog. So because we got like two guys that's very similar.
What do you prefer?
I like Minotaur.
Minotaur.
I like Minotaur. Yeah, I like that one too.
Okay. Master Nogueira, you start playing judo, then you play boxing, and then jiu-jitsu. Okay, this is all people know, but something, the most important thing that in your 10th, when you were 10, you had a very painful accident, and after this accident, you rise up and you continue and you play all these games. This is something very inspiring. From where you get this will to continue, and you were a child.
Before the accident, when I was 10 to 11 years old, I started judo when I was 4 years old.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I got the support for my family, to be a judo competitive, competing judo. But I think the martial arts helped me to give me strength, to give me patience. When I had the hard time in my life, I think that when I used to compete when I was 4 to 10 years old, give me strength to keep going, doesn't give up. I think the inspiration, to survive and keep fighting for my life, I get from the judo games. So I think, and now on I fight like big guys, huge guys, but nothing gonna be bigger than a truck. I can compare. So I have 11 months and a half living in the hospital, 1 week like in a coma, and for sure I have a lot of motivation from the fighting games, to keep fighting for my life.
This is something inspiring that after this accident, a painful accident, I didn't enter in the details because I saw it's too painful, but you have rised and continues. This is something very inspiring in a martial art game. This is depending on physical. That means nothing is impossible. Because of that, I ask you this question. Okay, let me go to something else. You have a black belt 4th degree in jiu-jitsu. This is the higher level I've ever heard about. So why you choose jiu-jitsu? Because you are Brazilian, and all the Brazilian will go to jiu-jitsu by default, or there is something else?
When I was playing judo, since I was young, always the jiu-jitsu moves, because judo and jiu-jitsu is kind of similar, Jiu-jitsu, the same, all that came from the Asian, but always when I bring my fights, I throw the fight. You know, in judo, that's a throw. You throw your opponent. I always I had a good game in the ground. So my old coach said you should pick jiu-jitsu. It's a really tough martial arts. It's gonna fit good on you. So I train kung fu. I train kickboxing. When I was 10, but teenager, after accident, I find the jiu-jitsu, and for sure it's the most effective martial arts in the world. And I find myself when I was playing jiu-jitsu, after 6 months I was already the Brazilian champion, the state champion. I was really quick, and I got my black belt in 3 years and a half doing jiu-jitsu.
3 years and a half?
3 years and a half was like, I was three times a day.
I barely finished the fight one in 2 years. Okay, why did you move to the MMA? Because you played all these kind of games, or what gave you the motivation to go to the MMA?
Yeah, first time I saw the UFC, that's impressed me. I saw the Royce Gracie, the small guy fighting all the wrestlers, American wrestlers, all the big guys, huge guys, and using such a good technique, and how he move his body and make the big guy give up, tap out, and give up the fight. So that was very impressive, when I saw that. And MMA is a very specific game where you never know what's gonna happen, who's gonna win the fight, So it impressed me a lot and very extreme. So I want to test myself. I know all those skills like judo, jiu-jitsu, boxing, kickboxing. So I want to test myself. And I fought for the first time in the '99, and the professional. I fought amateur before, and I find myself. I thought, first time I saw that, I said that's what I want to do for my life. Jiu-jitsu is the most effective martial arts, in the world. It's been proved, for the Gracie family. Before it used to be a challenge between martial artists. The boxing guy fighting the jiu-jitsu guy, then fighting the wrestling guy. But now on is that who's the best athlete? Okay, but everyone wanna be a good athlete. Got to know jiu-jitsu. I think that MMA is at another level. So when they won everything in the jiu-jitsu, they got the black belt. They got no more challenging. They got to prove themselves, in MMA. I think they're challenging, who moves people from jiu-jitsu to MMA.
Nice point. Okay, let me go to the fight that you will playing here against Roy. Usually, and you have 34 victories, 21 of them by submissions, and this is very logical for a master of a jiu-jitsu. But right now, Roy, it's a jiu-jitsu player, have a black belt, and he never lose by submissions.
Yeah.
So, will you change your tactics or against him or something?
I mean, that's on me, you know what I mean? I can't change what is my DNA. You know what I mean? Of course, every time, sometimes I got in the fight, I got a chance to beat the guy by, punching him. But if I got a chance to submit, it's faster than me. You know what I mean? I go and I try the submission. But of course, he's a tough guy. I know he got a heavy hands. He got a really heavy right hand. So I've been training a lot of boxing to avoid that, But my jiu-jitsu, of course, here to fight in UAE, in Abu Dhabi is the motherland of submission games. Was the biggest event in the world. Happen here every year. That's gonna happen 5 days after my fight, in UFC. Yes. So to me, if I get a chance to submit the fight, to bring the fight to the ground, I will do.
Before the match, let me ask you about your game that you played before. Who was your toughest opponent, the strongest opponent that you faced before?
I fought many tough guys in Japan when I used to fight in Pride too. I fought a guy, Emelianenko Fedor. He's like 2 times world champion. I fought this guy 3 times already. I fought like a lot of Doug Henderson, so he used to be the world champion as well. Randy Couture, he's a legend in the sport, you know, in MMA and the UFC. So a lot of good guys. I've been, you know, I face a lot of strong opponents.
Okay, let me ask you something else. You have been in Abu Dhabi before.
Yeah, many times.
What did change? What you were here many times. So, what did change between your first visit and right now?
For sure, changing a lot. I've been seeing Abu Dhabi is a very international place right now. You know, grows a lot. From the first time I came here, I remember I came here in 2000 to fight an Abu Dhabi tournament, and right now, way bigger. You know, way ahead than what we used to see before. You know, the city. You know, I drove here to Dubai. Was really far. Now it's not that far anymore. I think the city is getting close, you know, and I think Abu Dhabi grows a lot, you know, as a city, in it's very international right now.
From the martial arts view.
Martial arts view, you know, I never had a chance to say, you know, to Sheikh Tahanun, you know, what he did for the sport, what I do, you know. I do like to thank this guy a lot, what he did, he and his family did for the sport and the whole world in Brazil as well. You know, he brought 200 black belts from Brazil to teach in the schools here, you know, and what he's doing for his for the sport in the whole world, I think is really great, you know. So I really appreciate and do like to thank a lot, you know, what he did for the sport.
Okay, thank you. And let me ask you, I'm looking for your resume. Actually, you almost gain everything. Okay. Do you have any other ambition? Do you have any something you didn't want, you didn't do, and you want to do? What's your ambitions after this whole resume full of victories?
You know, to fight here is a you know is a big big thing for me. You know, come inside this country is a new thing for us. We just opened a gym in Dubai. So I'm very involved about to grow our school here in UE, you know. So I'm really hungry, you know, to win this fight, you know, and make the UFC popular in this country, so in my country as well.
Great. Can I ask you something outside the MMA?
Sure.
You're Brazilian.
Yeah, I'm Brazilian.
Do you watch football?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Who is your favorite team?
In Brazil, I like Vasco da Gama. You know, I kind of watch Santos, also the team of Neymar. You know Neymar,
of course.
Yeah. You know, so I think it's a very traditional team. You know, and the Corinthians as well. You know, one of the biggest team. I used to be responsible by Internacional, the team for Porto Alegre. I think he plays over here. Yeah.
Yes, and he won the championship with Coach Brown.
Yeah, yeah. A couple years ago. Yeah.
Who is your favorite team outside the Brazil?
Outside Brazil, you know, I like Barcelona.
Barcelona. For Neymar.
For Neymar, you know, because a lot of Brazilian players, play over there, you know, and also I've been a lot in Barcelona, in the city, you know, really nice city.
Your favorite player?
Neymar.
Good. After the whole resume, Pelé, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, like
you
Neymar.
know, I like Neymar. You know, he's a young guy. He's very he talks the language of the young people there in Brazil. You know.
Will you win the World Cup in Brazil or not?
For this year, for sure.
Brazil
for sure.
Or
you got the best team right now. You saw what we did, you know, against Spain.
I see.
You know, Spain was the favorite in that.
It was one game.
But I mean, it was a pretty big. You know, big beat, you know.
Yeah, good luck then. You are the most nominated. And thank you. Thank you so much. I am really honored to interview one of the legendary. And welcome in Abu Dhabi and in Super.ae.
Thank you.